And so the reason I do it is just because once I discovered that one, I have this talent for connecting with people and telling these stories, but two, I just really love the underdog story. I love when the little guy wins. I love that David and Goliath type thing. And so I believe the world can be a better place if we can amplify the message of the good people. So if there's some little local business that doesn't have $1 million marketing budget, but they're just as good or better than the national brand,
Mhm.
I want to amplify them. I want to help them win. And there's no greater satisfaction than when you see their business grow or they've gotten more clients because of the videos we made. It's like, man, that's having a huge impact in the world. So when we can amplify the good people and amplify their message, the world's a better place. And of course, then I think about, I want to leave a better world for my kids and my grandkids and all that. And
Welcome to Sharpen the Spear podcast, where we help manufacturing executives command the front and win the floor. I'm Richard Walsh, creator of the Sharpened Impact methodology, and I spent decades helping leaders transform frontline teams, unlock hidden profit, and capture capacity they didn't even know they had. If you want to see where your leadership gaps are costing you and how to fix them, head over to grittolead.com and run the free Sharpened Impact Simulator today. Let's sharpen your edge and get started. And we are back on STS Sharpen the Spear podcast with another incredible guest, because I have nothing less than incredible guests. And Graham Kuhn is no exception. But Graham, no one knows Graham better than Graham. So, Graham, I need the backstory, bring us up to speed, and we will get into the conversation.
yeah, thanks, Richard, man. I'm happy to be here, man. I love your podcast. I love what you talk about, and I just love the flow of it. And so I'm excited to get into this. So who am I? I grew up in a small farm town in Wisconsin, working on farms and doing manual labor, baling hay, picking stones in the summer, doing construction jobs, all that stuff. But what's interesting is my father was the high school wrestling coach. And our team would, win the state championship every other year, kind of a big deal. And uh, he he had asked me, I was in like fifth grade or so, if I wanted to run the video camera for the high school wrestling matches. And that's kind of where my video journey began. But then another little wrinkle which set me on a certain path was I fell in love with music. Like I started playing in the band, playing saxophone, and then I added tuba to that. And I was in band in middle school, and I was playing football and wrestling and playing baseball. And then I was asked to audition for the high school musical. And I had never sung before. And I auditioned for that and I got a part and I really liked it. So, very long story short is that through middle school and high school, I was a total jock, playing three sports, but also really into musical theater and singing and music. And so I ended up going to college to study opera singing. And I studied opera and I wrestled in college. And through high school and college, I had been making some highlight videos of the different sports teams and all that. And people were like, "Oh, that's so awesome!" at the banquets. And I'm like, "It's really cool. I like making these videos." I moved to Atlanta to pursue a singing career, which I did for 20 years. And I started working at a huge church in Atlanta, and they asked me to start making videos for them as well. And so that was maybe 2009 or 10. So over the next 11 years or so, I was cranking out two or three videos every week for this huge church. And people started calling the office asking who makes the videos. They're really good. I need them for my business. And so it started becoming a side hustle. And after a couple of years, it was it was just too much. I never dreamed of quitting my job and being a business owner. I was doing music and video production at this huge church, and I was loving it. But my wife and I had a heart to heart about, I think we need to quit my job and go full into this business owner stuff, which was great. It was very exciting. I had a full book of clients. We had money saved up. Like we did everything right. So I handed in my resignation. Everybody was very supportive. My last day of my salary job was March 13th, 2020. And 3 days later, everything shut down, and I lost about 100 grand in committed contracts over the next couple of weeks. It was a very time. And long story short, we got through that year. I had a lot of opportunities that I wouldn't have had like doing some live streaming things and traveling to like California and Texas to do some things for some big companies that would never have been there if it wasn't for COVID. So everything turned out great. But that was kind of my genesis. My starting into entrepreneurship was a little bit scary. But through that, I've learned a lot of things about imposter syndrome. I've learned a lot of things about limiting beliefs. I've learned a lot of things about just showing up and helping. Especially in my local community when things were scary, I was offering to help people with video marketing just to get their message out. And that's really how I've gotten through like slow times and difficult times, just showing up and offering to help other people. But yeah, and I like to say that with my music background and my upbringing, blue collar construction and all that is like I can really meld those two worlds of like working with big rough tough construction guy, home builder, but then getting him to be emotional on camera and having him come out of his shell and speak about emotion. And I mean, I have no greater joy than when I can get some big rough tough guy tearing up on camera talking about working with his grandpa growing up or something. It's such an awesome feeling that we can pull those emotions out of people. So, yeah, I just have a very unique set of skills that I can combine that rough, tough, blue collar upbringing with that emotional music, emoting in different languages and understanding how emotion affects people and messaging. And so I've just been really lucky in how I've taken those skills and gifts that I've had and I've turned it into a really successful business.
That's awesome. So, like, could you belt out of something from La Boheme? Or I'm a big
Oh man.
Puccini fan, man. I'm a big Puccini fan,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
so like, we could talk opera, but we're not gonna. But I'm
Yeah,
gonna
actually, I
try
do have to
singing
say
when we
I
go
never.
opera. I don't know many people want to try singing, and opera becomes their thing. That's pretty.
No, I was going to say that's one thing I neglected to say is like I've sung everything except opera after college. I studied it. I have a foundation and classically trained, but then I moved to Atlanta to join a professional a cappella group, did more kind of musical theater, a
Yeah, it's
cappella,
good. Yeah,
church music. So I actually never did opera
yeah,
after
yeah.
college.
That's okay. I never did opera after or before. I didn't even go to college, so I couldn't even do it. But I've been to a lot of opera. I love opera,
That's
but I love the
cool. That
classics.
is
So I'm
that's
a big
cool.
fan. My kids are always like, "Did you really have a range of taste?"
Yeah,
I go, if I'm cooking, opera's on. If
that's
it's not
great,
in the
man.
kitchen, man, I gotta have it. I gotta have it.
Renaissance man, dude.
I gotta have it. Always been. But yeah, super cool. That's when you're talking, Graham, about that 100 grand you lost right away. I had a similar thing in '08, but it was 500
Oh
grand.
yeah.
Just the November 8th of 2008, man, I lost 500,000 on that day on lost contracts, and it just kept going. Right, so finally we were done. But so I get that, but I'll say this too though. Even if you didn't, there would have been something else. Okay, you would have had some other cataclysmic, just crazy thing, because that's entrepreneurship, right? There's
Yep.
always
Yep.
no battle plan ever survives the first shot. You got all your ducks in a row, right? You were set. We got the money, got this, I got this, I got all these people want to do me. Have to you jump off, and yeah, you forgot to untie the weight that was around your ankles, and down you go.
Yep.
So it's just, but that's par for the course. You know what I mean? And I love that you're able to power through and then find these other clients because you have a willingness. A lot of people, and this is why there's such a high failure rate in business. There, we talked about it before we jumped on. There's a lot of starters, very few finishers, right? A lot of people kind of curl up in a ball with the first little bit of adversity, or as I like to say, getting punched in the face. Because not many people have been punched in the face. When you get it, it's kind of disturbing. So, but to power through and do it. And now, did you have kids at the time? You did, right? Did you have
Yeah, that was the yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, we had a three. We had all three.
yeah, so there's a little bit of motivation there too, like because they want to eat. So
Yeah.
you really you really got to get out there and do something, right? Uh, but it's I also feel, but it's also those stories that make it great because you do what most won't do. So the reward is way bigger on the other side when you stay with it. So that being said, let's kind of dive into kind of exactly what you're doing currently with video for companies for whatever you're doing. Let's kind of give us the overview, and tell us like why you chose this avenue. We can get into a few different bullet points on that as well. So kind of start
Yeah.
there if you would.
Yeah. So I like to say that my company makes marketing videos that make our clients money. Because there's a lot of video production companies out there where they kind of sell video like it's a product, where, hey, we need a marketing video, and then they go, okay, let's get the teleprompter fired up and let's shoot the sales video, and that's it. But I take a totally different approach with trying to figure out what are I take a business approach. I take, like, what are the problems in the business, and how can video solve that? You need more leads, you need more prospects. Brand story video, testimonial videos. You got plenty of clients, but you don't have any time. Well, let's do some training videos so you're not having to spend time onboarding new clients or new employees. And there's a million different ways that we can use video. But also, the approach I take is a very storytelling kind of authentic approach. We don't use teleprompters with our clients. We're doing more interview style, like we're doing now, where I'm kind of prompting them to get them to talk about why they do what they do and what makes them different. And then they're speaking from the heart. It's not scripted and salesy. And so I developed that working at the church, because I remember one guy came in to talk about his ministry, and he looked in the camera and he had his talking points and he was like a robot, and it was so not engaging. And I was off the side of the camera. I started asking him questions about the ministry and why he did it. And he turned to me and just became himself. And it was like, oh, this is something, just interviewing and talking to people. And so the reason I say that our videos make money is because there's actually a purpose behind them. There's a strategy behind it. I work with my clients to, this brand story video needs to be on the front of your web page, or this needs to be in this email, or what, like they're supposed to generate revenue. And if you just, hey, we're going to make a cool, fun video and stick it on Facebook, that's not marketing. That's not how you're going to do it. So, in a nutshell, we make videos that make our clients money because they're strategic storytelling, that neuroscience. I love geeking out about the brain and how we connect with one another with messaging and all of that. And so the reason I do it is just because once I discovered that, one, I have this talent for connecting with people and telling these stories, but two, I just really love the underdog story. I love when the little guy wins. I love that David and Goliath type thing. And so I believe the world can be a better place if we can amplify the message of the good people. So if there's some little local business that doesn't have $1 million marketing budget, but they're just as good or better than the national brand,
Mhm.
I want to amplify them. I want to help them win. And there's no greater satisfaction than when you see their business grow, or they've gotten more clients because of the videos we made. It's like, man, that's having a huge impact in the world. So when we can amplify the good people and amplify their message, the world's a better place. And of course, then I think about, I want to leave a better world for my kids and my grandkids and all that. And so it just fills me up being able to help people and have an impact by, I believe, making the world a better place.
Yeah, I love it. I think too, from a video standpoint, I got into video a long time ago when I first did it. We got into Super 8.
Oh
That's where I
yeah.
began my film career. Okay. In high school, we did like a feature film in high school,
Oh,
a
very
World
cool.
War II adventure film. And we raised money, 1939 cars. We got Fort Sheridan. We got Glenview Naval Air Base with the old planes like they don't know. It's super cool, right? I was going into film. All right. Well, I spent my Christmas vacation in my buddy's basement writing the screenplay. We built miniatures. We were blowing it. It was unbelievable. Um,
Dang.
I didn't get into filmmaking. So,
Well, what's funny is I didn't
for
do
the
any of
Marine Corps
that.
instead.
I
Yeah.
I still don't I still don't consider myself a filmmaker. Like, I didn't go to film school, and that's not what I do. I'm telling stories. The fact that I can shoot videos and I know how to edit is great, but I don't care what kind of cameras we shoot on. I don't what kind of care what kind of gear. Like, it's about the story and the content. And like, I hire editors to edit for me. I've got shooters to shoot for me. I just help get the story. Like, I'm not a filmmaker. So that's interesting because I never had any of that training that you have.
Well, here's the thing though that I love, because this is more me. You're more like me. How do I monetize this? Okay, I've been an artist my whole life. I've done world class exhibits. I'm a steel sculptor. I'm internationally recognized. I'm finest water feature build. I can do all this art stuff. Like, and I love doing it, but I always monetize it. I'm
Mhm.
not the artist. I'm an artist. I can't be bothered with money. No, I can be
Right.
bothered with money. Okay, you can pay me a lot. I do some really cool stuff, and you're going to pay for it. Okay, so I love that, because it's not about, I'm air quoting, filmmaking. It's about delivering a message that makes money. that when we were arranging this interview, that was the hook. Okay, I want to talk to this guy. Okay, because this guy makes money because everybody says they're going to do this and that for you, whether it's social media or they're going to do these videos or whatever. Like you're saying, you actually ask questions like, "What's the biggest problem the
Yeah.
business has?" And not just, "Oh, we'll get a shot of the sign, and then we'll have you behind the counter, and then we'll do this stuff like, yeah, you and the other 10 million people with an 8-year-old and an iPhone." Okay,
Yep.
that's what you're shooting. It's like I can't have that. I'm totally with you, Graham. That because I've written some storyboards and things like that. Even for I'm launching a whole new chapter here. But like I can tell the story. Like
Yep.
I'm writing storyboard. The storyboard moves me. Okay, when you read the storyboard, like you get the chill bumps, right? Like imagine when this thing's in film. I can't do it. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to shoot it. But the person who can, if they can take this and then put their own thing on it, that's when you're moving people to action. And that's
Hmm.
where the money part comes in, right?
Yeah.
And
So
that's
one of my mentors when I first started it, because I was the same kind of that starving artist mindset, or like, if you get paid, then the art is gone and all that. He's like, dude, you got to get paid or you can't eat. And he
Mhm,
convinced me that when you're solving problems for other people, there's value in that. And that's why
mhm,
they pay you. They're not paying you because of your pretty visuals or your film degree, or they're paying because you're helping them. You're solving their problem, and there is inherent value in that. For like, if I get a custom home builder, I get him a new client and he sells a $3 million home and profits 300 grand off of that. All of a sudden that video is worth $300,000,
that's right.
So me getting paid, it doesn't make me feel guilty anymore. So,
That's
but
right.
there is, to your point, there's a lot of, I don't know if it's imposter syndrome or limiting beliefs, but people that do like photography and videos, they feel like they can't ask for money, or they feel like they can't ask for more money, or they can't ask for what they're worth or what their videos or photos are worth. And I'm telling you, man, you need to price it until everybody says no.
That's right. Well, here's the thing, and I was mentioning this the other day. I can't remember if it was on a podcast or talking to one of my kids. But the point was what you need to do when it comes down to price. And I gave a really, really simple solution. I said, you don't get to determine your prices. You need an outside eyes, someone who can truly value what you do should be telling you how much you should charge. Okay. And I mean that in the best of ways. When I come in as a business coach, I see all the problems. I don't have any blinders. I don't have any emotional attachment. So I'm the guy to come in and fix it because I'll get right to it. We'll get it done. And you as the owner are usually the biggest stumbling block, right? You can't see it.
Yep.
I always tell people this. So I'm building these massive water features. People say, $100,000, $200,000, all this stuff. My dad came who builds golf courses and everything else. And he's looking at this big one and he goes, and he asked me how much they're paying. He's like, they pay you that much? I go, yeah, Dad. I go, Dad, they could, with a stroke of a check, they could buy every piece of equipment I have, but they can't do anything with it. They can't do what I do. I said, you think it's a lot because you could probably pull this off, like, so your value is way lower. But when you can do something someone else cannot do, you know, and make it look easy, okay, there's high value to that. Right. And that's what we have to understand. That's why sometimes we need someone else to go, what's this really worth? I do that I'm doing pricing structure. I mean, today you can do it literally with chat.
Hmm.
That could be your outside eyes. What should I be getting for this? And don't give me industry standard. Okay. I'm not a standard.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not mediocre. Okay. I perform at a very high level. So let's talk about what that is, and then it'll pop out some pretty impressive numbers, because it has access to all the people charging a lot of money for the stuff they do. And now you get compared apples to apples instead of an apple to a pea. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
there was a project I was bidding on a couple of months ago where I mean, I've done it. I've done this long enough that I kind of know what everything's worth. And but I'm like, let me just see if I'm pricing this too much. And so I put it in chat, explained everything, and gave it sources and all that. And it came back with this huge number, and I was like, what? And so I went through it again and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I mean, and so I went with that number and we got it. And so thankfully I did ask a second opinion of
That's right.
ChatGPT and it was more than and I have no problem asking for money and I have no problem understanding my value. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm afraid to ask for that. I just didn't consider all of the value that went into it. And I was like, all right. So yeah, I think that's a really
I
great point.
I had the same thing, and I was bidding this big, I mean, a one of a kind installation. Okay, big world class thing, and I come up with these numbers, and I think I've got these incredible margins, and I tell my office manager, and she's like, no, she's giving me like the thumb up, like more. I'm going, well, that's
Yeah.
400,000. She's like, no, she goes, give me that, and she put it like 700 grand.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm like, oh, she goes, here, we'll submit that. Got it, no problem. They were super
Yeah.
thrilled. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Like,
I just made like almost $400,000 more in profit than I was willing to go with in the beginning, and it's not gouging. I mean, I
no.
built a permanent world. It's like, yeah, I kind of wasn't thinking, well, because I could just knock it out. I mean, it was a 6 year project. Not I did, but my thing was an integral part of that. But you don't realize you need those outside eyes to really value what you do. And we've all
Mhm.
seen the black canvas with the orange dot on the center. And why is that a $2 million and hanging in the Art Institute of Chicago?
Yeah.
Right? We're all going, you got to be kidding me. I could do that. Right? I had a woman, I did this huge sculpture, cantilevered, walk under waterfall, looked like a giant plant, super spectacular, Navy Pier, Chicago. And I had
Oh,
this woman
nice.
come up to me. She looks at it, and it's all looks like vines. And she goes, well, I can do that. I go, really? She goes, yeah, I'll just go find some bent steel and everything else, at this yard. Now she starts telling me how she's going to do it. I go, yeah, well, I guess I didn't think of that. I started, everything was straight and I bent it, like that. And they go, but here's what I want you to do. Do it and send me pictures, man. I'd love to see it. You're
Right.
never gonna do it. Just shut up, move
Nope.
along. Just keep
Nope.
moving, lady. Keep moving. You're never gonna do that. You can do it. I go, man. Well, why don't you just spit on me after you say that?
Well, that's what I
Okay.
was going to say. That's somebody just trying to devalue you
Right.
because somehow they're jealous or they have a
Exactly.
weird. That's weird. That's so
Yeah. It's
weird,
just
man.
just a bunch of scrap metal I found and welded together. Now there is some art that
Poof.
that is that, but mine no. This is you wish you were in the process. My brother helped me one time. He goes, I'll never help you again. This is the hardest thing I've ever done. Everything weighs like 150 pounds,
Oh
and
yeah.
you're hydraulic benders and you're doing all this stuff, and then you got to hold it, weld it, move it, try it, but whatever. But I get it. So art, Graham, is its own thing. Okay. It can't be put in a box. It doesn't matter if you're a cinematographer or you're using an iPhone.
Yep.
Okay. Art is art. And the
Yep.
people who have the eye for it and the ability to see it. And here's the most important thing I think you mentioned already is you got to be able to tell the story. So let's dive into that because I'm a storyteller. You can tell already, right? I've done lots, but the whole aspect of that and conveying that in film, and I know there's a lot, like, yeah, great editing, you need good sound, these things, but the ability to really understand what the outcome is. So talk about that a little bit because I think people get like they see this, but when you say you make videos that make money, okay, that's an outcome, right? Because
Yep.
to me, you understand the outcome. It's not I got a cool place, right? So let's dive into that a little bit because there's got to be a thought process when you're figuring this out. What does that look like?
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm big into the neuroscience. I love how the brain works and emotion and psychology. And so, Simon Sinek, start with why. That's a really big part of how I tell a business story. In fact, any brand story video that we make has a very similar template where it starts with who you are. You introduce yourself. I'm Graham Kuhn, owner of Focus Films. Now you know me. It's like we shook hands and met for the first time. And that's the logical side of the brain. Then we go deep into the why. Why did this person start this business? Why do they do what they do? For me, it's to have an impact on the world and lift up other people and make the world a better place. That's my why, emotional. Then what they do, what is the service really quickly? That's the logical side. And then back to emotion. How are they different? So the brain is like firing left, right, emotion, logic. Every brand story video I do is that template because I know that's what works. But we focus a lot on the why because that's what resonates with people. So like if I'm doing a chiropractor video, we're not starting with the adjustments. We're starting with why are you a chiropractor? Why did you choose to do this? And typically there'll be some story about how they got injured and a chiropractor fixed them or one of their parents something. And there's some heartfelt emotional story about why they do this. That's what connects with people. And so I'll meet with my client, no cameras, nothing. We'll meet for an hour and I ask them all these questions. Why do you do it? And they'll go, well, I wanted freedom for my family, so I started my own business. Okay, that's very surface level. What drives you? Why do you do this? What gets you up every day? On Monday mornings, are you excited? Yeah, I'm excited. Why the hell are you excited on Monday mornings? Because I'm helping people. And there's your why. Let's go deeper with that. This is all off camera. Once I get all of that, how you're different, what you do, now I've got pages of notes. Come back a week later, we let it rest for a while. I'm not going to turn the camera on right away and be like, all right, let's do it again. And then they try to regurgitate.
Right.
We give it a week, let it rest. They kind of already know what we're going to talk about. So they're more comfortable because, most people have not been on camera like that before. I already know their answers. Now I know the story. So I can guide that interview the way that I want it. And then I can prompt them if they're not saying what I want them to say. But like, remember you told me the story about Mrs. Jones? You helped her show. Oh yeah, well tell me that story, and I just guide them through it. And so it's not really the point is not to tell a story like their origin story or to give a whole biography. It's just authentic telling the story of the business and why it exists and why they do it with I try to coach them to talk in a way that's telling the viewer how it benefits them. Where instead of me saying, we shoot on these cameras and I do this and I won this award and we've done over 1,000 projects, I'm talking about what we do. This is how what we do can help you. This is how it helped this company. This is our approach, and this is why it works and how it's going to help you. I try to get my clients to focus on how their company benefits the prospect because people get all up in their, like in their ego with, we've been around for 20 years and we do this and we won these awards and we're the number one in this county. And it's like, that's not what connects with people. The heart and the story behind why you do this, that is what really connects. So yeah, if you go to my website and you watch brand story videos and you think who, why, what, how, and what, you'd be like, oh my gosh, it's the same template. Oh my God, it's the same template. But it makes the brain engage. And then when people get done watching the video, a prospect, they go, that's really different than any corporate video I've seen before. And that's the greatest compliment ever because I don't want it to be some scripted sales video. I want it to like touch them emotionally and make them feel like I need to reach out to this person and do business with them. So, yeah, so that's the secret sauce. There's like that emotion logic template in all of them, but that's what works.
Yeah, I love it. I was going to ask, but you answered it. But I'll just reiterate when you asking someone the why and you kind of explained it, because I do that and people, they kind of get a blank stare. They don't, even if they like, well, because I like it.
Yeah,
And it's like they haven't gone deep on that. So I think that's a really smart move to do that pre-interview, if you will, right?
it is.
And then give them a week to marinate on that. And I'll bet you that story gets a lot better the second time they tell it. Because now
It
they've
does.
thought about it for a week, right? Yeah.
It's more concise. They're more comfortable. They remember what we talked about, versus if I ask them the first time, they got to think about it. And they're not, oh, I forgot to say that. But yeah, so that's really that extra step is very different than all of my colleagues around here that own video companies. Nobody does that. They
Oh,
they just like, when do you want to shoot? Next Tuesday? Great. I want to go
right.
deeper. I want to get the story because I want them to be so comfortable on camera.
Yeah, they're doing time for dollars.
Yes,
They don't want to
exactly.
take a week. I can have
Yep.
this done the same day. Run through it once. Okay, you got it. Let's do it again. Oh yeah. Let's take 10 minutes and think. And then and they want to do that, right? Because and this is a really critical point here for anyone in business. Like you have to understand if you're going to be so hardline structured and you're going to equate everything to a dollar amount, time in a dollar. Like you're going to have a really miserable business because you're going to chase these metrics that don't really matter when it comes to being excellent, or connecting and building relationship and referral from clients you're using, because they're going to feel like you're 100% transactional. There's nothing there. Like they know you're never going to speak to them again, right? When they leave, that's it. You get the tail. What we used to call in construction the tail light warranty. You get the warranty's good till you can't see my tail lights anymore. So we got that. So but I mean, I think it's really important, this approach you have, because if you're not, and we do talk about this a lot now too. I talk about automation and the pendulum of automation, where it's now swung too far to one side, and now you're starting to see this desire and this move back towards relationship. That's where sales happen. That's where stories happen, right? That's people. You don't think you can disconnect people. You can turn people off. They're not a machine. Machines do great things. I do a lot with AI. I do really cool things, but only to enable me to get greater relationships with the human being, to give them higher calling and higher purpose. Like, okay, we freed you from this thing that no one else ever wants to do, right? Answering a phone or doing this all day. That's all okay, great. We got AI, okay, on that for this. But now you got bigger challenges ahead of you. Now you're gonna earn it, right? But people want that. They don't
Yep.
want to do the mundane all day, right? So we got to understand that relationship. And when you take the approaches like you're doing, this is what it not just builds a bond and you make a connection, it produces an incredible outcome, an incredible product, right? That people will watch again and again, be drawn, be moved. Okay, there's a chocolate commercial. I don't know how long ago they made this thing. It was World War One. You ever see it?
Okay.
You
I don't
got the
know.
Americans and you got the Germans. That's about the Christmas story, World War
Nope.
One.
Haven't seen it.
So
Haven't seen it.
they're firing. You got stuff right. It's all no man's land in the middle of the two trenches. It's like Christmas Eve. All of a sudden it's like quiet out there and everything else. And then you hear this thing and this guy. And then one guy gets up and he kind of goes out there. Another German gets out. You got this English guy. Then they start talking. They start playing soccer. Everyone's playing soccer. So and this is true. And like the tree, and they did this thing. Like I think it was the first year in World War One. So these guys, they're going at it and they're playing the whole day. And they're like, hey, started sharing this chocolate. You can see the brand and everything else. And then the guy like slipped it into the other dude's pocket or whatever. And now they have to go back to the trench and start fighting again. Like, oh, party's over. Okay, everyone back to your thing. And the guy pulled that. Emotional. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, this, I have a guy I watch all the time for a podcast, really cool. Like every year he plays it. When it gets Christmas, he pulls that out. It's like, dude, don't do that to me, man. Like, it's awesome. It's got to be a minute and a half, 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's phenomenal.
I'll
Like,
check it out.
that's what I'm talking about, man. You could probably just, we'll pull that up online, but it's amazing. Like, but that's what I'm talking about. You get a brand that can bring humanity into their product. That's the gift, right?
Yep.
That creates brand loyalty, right? Obviously, it's going to do great for sales and everything else. But I think you're kind of that thinker. You're kind of
Yep.
thinking way out there, way bigger than, even though I'm the guy who makes money with video, but I'm seeing like you have a way bigger view. You're at 10,000 feet going, okay, I get like the neighbor's going to buy this person, but like, who are we really touching? That's what I'm talking about, outcomes.
Yep.
It's not transactional. You have to take it beyond transactional. And that's when people are moved to buy things, right?
That's what I always say is like, I think my job is to show the person behind the brand or show the person behind the logo. And it doesn't matter. It could be an enterprise sized company and we're interviewing the CEO or whoever, or the local mom and pop, and we're interviewing, the owner. But I just think, especially like to your point about AI, where everything is getting so perfect and everybody can make AI videos and AI content and perfect images and perfect, people are going to crave this human connection, this authentic human connection more and more. And so the more you can be real, the more you can be human, the more you're going to stand out. And so I just, people get wrapped up in their logos and their brand voice and all that, and that's their company. And I get it, that's their brand, but I like to show the story of the human behind the logo. And that's when people go, wow, that's really different than other marketing videos that I've seen. It's because it's human, it's heartfelt, it's not a sales video. It's a connection video, a trust
That,
building video, you know?
yeah, that's it. And that's where it's at. And that's where the art comes in. Okay. Because it sounds easy. Yeah, you can convey this message. It's not easy.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, there's just, like you said, you got it's, and I've done stuff in teleprompters. Okay. I get things I got to say. I'm gonna knock it
Yep.
out, do it. I get it done. I read it 3, 4 times, and I do the real thing, and I'm pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
But they're not my favorite. You know, I'm just like, unless I can memorize it and it's part of me, like we're having this conversation, it's just, I look at it and go, you know, it's like, I had to put it out, but I'm like, it's really good. Like people don't
Yeah.
know, but I'm like, it's not, because I know
It's not me. It's not.
I
So
read
I
that thing. I wrote
don't
it,
get
but
me
I read it.
don't get me wrong. I use teleprompters too if there's
Yeah.
something specific I want to say, but I also watch it and go, it's not, it's like 98% me, but I know it's not me. But I've done it a million times. You've done it a million times. So we're pretty good at it. The average client, average business owner has never done a
Oh,
teleprompter before. So that's why I try to just avoid it because it takes so much repetition. To even now, you said you do it 3 times and then you record it, and
right,
you've done it a million times.
right.
So that's why I just try to stay away from it because you've got to be really good at it. You got to have a lot of reps on the
So
teleprompter.
so on that point, so here's a really interesting thing that happened. So I'm at this business, we have a business, whatever it was, summit, and there's a
Yeah.
panel of speakers, right? And they're sitting on stools, and there's, I don't know, 60 of us or whatever. And there's a woman, she's talking, she does all this workforce development for this big construction company. She, the champion of all seven. You got these guys, you got these big hitters. She was like the best, right? Just rolling, just doing her whole thing, everything. So I'm chatting with her before and after. I'm like, hey, you know, I got a podcast. I'd love to have you on. So I sent her an email. She goes, ooh, I'd really have to get my nerve up for that. I'm like, what? You just sat in front of 70 people,
Right.
like killing it. And then this is from your office on a computer. You know, this is not, like, and I'm not there. I'm like, I'm
Right.
here, you know, and she wouldn't do it. I started talking to
No.
business owners like, hey, love to get your story out of my podcast. You know, you've gone from 0 to 4 million, you know, and you're local and all this. You get, oh, Dave, no, I don't think I can do that. I'm like, but you sold $4 million worth of plumbing this year, but you can't get on a podcast and talk about what you've done. I'm like, you can do
Yeah.
that, but you can't do this. So I don't, you know, you remember the old movies like when the red light goes on the camera and people freeze up, you know, like
Yeah.
Brady Bunch or something. I
Oh,
don't
it
know, but
absolutely
it's like,
happens. It
but
absolutely happens.
there's just this mic fear. It's so weird, and everyone's taking pictures of themselves all the time
Yep.
with the selfies and everything else. I'm like, this is just an extension. So yeah,
Yep.
it's yeah, you have to have run into that more than a few times.
Yeah. I mean, so one of the tricks that I do when I'm working with clients is when my camera guys have everything set up and they're ready to go. I'm already sitting here just talking to the client, how's the weekend, telling about the kids, college, whatever, we're just talking. And then when the camera guys hit record, they just give me a little tap on the shoulder. And I just keep talking about the kids and whatever. And I'm like, oh, and then I'll just slowly dissolve into the conversation about the business. And after 10 or 15 minutes, they'll go, are we rolling? And I'll be like, yeah. Because there's nothing worse than when you go, okay, you
Right.
guys ready? You guys ready?
Yep.
Richard, you ready? Okay. And record. Good. All right. Here we go. Anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. So we just try to move into that as much as possible. But then again, I will stop them if they're just being too robotic, they're too nervous. I'm like, take a breath. It's just you and me. We're just talking. We're just talking about the same stuff we talked about last week. That's how I get people to be comfortable on camera. And then almost to a person, when they see the first draft of that video, they go, how the hell did you make me look so good? They're
Yeah.
like, that's me. How did you get me to do that? I'm like, hey man, I asked the questions and you answered. There's no editing tricks there. It's just you being yourself. But yeah, I mean, that red light anxiety is real. I mean, God, my most viewed videos that I post are like blooper ones where I'm trying to like read a
Yep.
thing and I'm blooper. People love that stuff because I'm like, I have it too. I'll be like, and oh, forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, the best movies, you got the bloopers at the end as the credits are rolling. They
Oh yeah,
keep you there
man.
for 3 more minutes. It's like genius. You got to
Yeah.
do that stuff, you know. I mean, it's those are the best. those are the best parts of it. If you
And I
film
like to
like,
put them out there too, because it's like, look, people think, hey, Graham's good on camera. I'm like, let me show you all the bloopers
yep, yep,
that
that's right.
got done before this.
Yeah. Yeah. I did the one thing and it was amazing. You didn't see the 9,999 other tries where it wasn't
Well,
so pretty.
so that's one of the things I tell when I'm on podcasts or people are asking like what's advice you can give to a business owner about if they want to start incorporating video. I'm like, well, first of all, it's 2026. If you're not using some kind of video in some way, you're way behind. Second of all, you just need to start. Just freaking do it and you're going to suck at it. Like, let's just accept that right now. I'm going to suck at this. The first 20, 30 videos you try to shoot by
Yep.
yourself are going to be horrible. But it's like it's the repetitions again, like the teleprompter. The more
Mhm.
you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get when you're looking down the barrel of that camera. All of a sudden, that fear and that anxiety goes away because I've been here before. But even now, I'm comfortable on camera. I still make mistakes. I still mess up. I still like
Mhm.
look down the camera and I freeze. Like it's normal, but you just have to get started. It's like anything whatever you're doing right now today, you haven't always known how to do it. You had to start somewhere. You got some lumps, some growing pains. You got knocked down. You got back up. It's the same with the video, man. I have terabytes of bloopers of me.
Yeah.
But everything you see on LinkedIn and Facebook is pretty polished, but you don't see all the warts
Well,
behind it.
yeah. I always tell people, I go, listen, we all start at the same place. You know where that place is? It's called awful.
Yep.
We all started awful. He might be a pro baseball player, but the first time he swung the bat, okay, he doesn't have video on that. Okay.
Yep.
And we go awful, we go to kind of okay, a little better than awful, and you slowly go up the scale till you get to kind of good. And now get real
Yep.
good. And pretty soon, someday you'll be an expert, maybe, if you keep doing stuff. I was a boxer, right? So box 6 days a week, spar, do I hit the bag. That was a long time ago. I still hitting the bag this morning. I look at me now, some things of me, I'm like, I am so much better now, 40 years later.
Hmm.
Okay. Because I've done it for 40 years. I don't randomly do it. I go hard. Every shot is hard. It's an opponent still to this day. And like, yeah, no one talks to me when I'm hitting the bag. Okay. But my skills are there because I keep working them and working them and working them. And people even accuse me of training for a fight. Okay. So I'm like, no, just keeping things sharp. I just want to stay dangerous. That's all.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but it's tens of thousands of hours hitting the thing. So it's like, and it applies across the board to anything. It's all time in the game.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know,
Exactly.
really, 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 really important distinction there. So, from a video marketing standpoint, Graham, like there's so many applications. I'm not trying to like let's bullet point all the applications, but give us a couple of your. We'll start with the most challenging, and then a most fulfilling. Okay, we'll
Okay.
kind of cover the full spectrum there. Okay, it's like what was one of the most difficult ones? Kind of why? It's a little bit inside, filmmaking, but I want
Yeah.
people to understand like there's something to this. Okay, that's
Yeah.
that's that's what I want them to know. And then really the one and the kind of the most fulfilling, whatever that might be. I'm sure you got a number of them, but let's kind of hit those two so they can kind of see the
Yeah.
dichotomy.
You mean the most challenging that I was filming myself or the most challenging of me working with a client?
It's getting an outcome. How about the most challenging to get the outcome you wanted? Because that'll involve the client, maybe the film editor, the guy shooting. It could be a whole package, right? Because everyone was a challenge to get the
Yeah.
outcome. But it's
Yeah.
really about the outcomes. To me is the most challenging part to
Yep.
get that thing that you want to put your name on and get out there and it makes money.
Yep. So one in particular, this person has this business owner had done lots of videos before, a lot of educational content where they would film it. They'd film it on Zoom. It was not like high quality, but they'd film a minute or two tidbit and they'd put it out every week. And so they kind of had their talking points down. We did the deep dive conversation. I got the whole story, the emotional stuff. But then when we got into the cameras rolling, I would ask the question to start a conversation, and they took it as I ask a question and then they answer. So you would see them kind of sit up straight and be like, okay, okay. So in 2005, and it was like a sales pitch.
Right.
And the whole thing was like, it took me literally 40 minutes to get them to chill out and just come. It's like they were just doing these sound bites, these sales pitches. It was so loud and not authentic. And I was just like, man, it was really frustrating. I almost just pulled the plug and said, we're just gonna go camera experience. They thought that it was like their weekly content where they're just supposed to spit out these sound bites.
Mm.
So that was very challenging. Finally, just got them to relax and be more real. And then other times, from an editing standpoint, I outsource my editing. I've got a couple editors I really trust to do the videos the way I want them, where we're going to focus on why and all that. But there are times when you get a draft back and you're just like, man, this is really, really not what I was envisioning.
Yeah.
And there's times where I'm just like, whoa, this really missed the mark. But most of the time, it's like, hey, man, this is kind of what I was thinking. Think you could change this? Or they'll say, well, this is what I was thinking. And then we collaborate. And then at the end of the day, it's if the client is happy and they like it, then, we're good to go. But I mean, there was one time where I got in what's an argument with the because they were the video we were doing was for like an automotive place, masculine. I'm picturing like bluesy rock, grungy, like I don't know, like masculine kind of stuff. And they came back with the edit, and it's kind of this poppy corporate kind of music. And I was like, man, I don't usually get real serious about the music, but I'm like, dude, I feel like this really missed the mark. I was picturing this, and I thought the editor would come back and be like, no problem. Well, I'll switch it out. But he came back with all this justification about like, well, I was picking this because the cadence of the guy talking was like this, and this fit better. And I'm serious, dude. Like, we're gonna have an argument about the. I was so then I said, you know what? After back and forth, I said, you know what? Let's send it to the client, and if they like it, fine, we'll go with it. And the client liked it. They never said anything about the music. They were happy with it. I still, to this day, 6 years later, still think it was the wrong music.
But I have to ask, did it produce?
It did. And that's one of the reasons I said, you know what, if the client is happy with it, we're not going to sit here and argue about, I thought it should be this music, you thought it should be this music. The point is they need to get this asset to generate revenue. And so if they're happy with it and it works, so be it. So my ego says 6 years later, it's the wrong music. But as a business owner and a consultant, I'm like, hey, man,
Well, this is what you have to say,
awesome.
Graham. Got to tell yourself. Imagine what it could have produced.
Yeah.
Done my
Yeah.
way. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how you
Exactly.
console your ego. But here's
I'm
the
sure,
question,
I'm sure
though.
changing the music would have made them
Right.
an extra $1 million.
Right. See, you got that. But what I'm saying is like sometimes, and I want to just be kind of a little pushback on this though. Do you always like rely if the customer likes it? They can like the wrong. You know how many times I've liked the well. You know how many times I've liked the wrong thing? Like 98% of the time. That's why I don't do any marketing. I
Yeah.
do not think like normal people. I can't, you'd never want me doing marketing because
No, in
I'll
fact,
get you one customer, maybe. Okay.
I'm I'm in a situation right now where we just did a whole suite of videos. I mean, I think we did different videos. Very happy, very happy, very happy. The final one, the brand story, the big enchilada, the owner is not happy, but they keep saying it's not Focus Films, it's not us. They're not happy how they showed up that day on camera. They thought it was the end of the day, their energy was low. They were like, she's like, your work is so great, but I'm just not happy how I showed up. So they want to reshoot. And they're like, we'll pay whatever it costs to reshoot. Well, I mean, that's like 4 grand to shoot again.
Right.
And which is, I know it's not huge money for them, but at the same point, I'm like, what if we come back and maybe we change the music, or maybe we change it, maybe we can make you feel differently about it. Maybe it's not you. Maybe it just feels different. And so yeah, I don't agree that it's I don't agree that she didn't have good energy. I don't agree that it's not her, but at the end of the day, she needs to feel like she likes it, you know? So I'm trying to push back on that and be like, I think it's great. And now, we spent 2 weeks going back and forth. That thing could have been on the website generating revenue for the last 2 weeks. So it's a touchy touchy subject when people feel like they're not happy with how they showed up on camera. But at the same time, I want to be like the person that's on your website. So yeah, it can be a struggle. It can be a struggle. So to answer your question, no, I don't always leave it up to if the client likes it, we're going with it. If I don't think it's effective, or I do think it's effective, I'm gonna push for it because at the end of the day, I want them to make money.
Yeah, that's the key, and and people they got body image, they got all this stuff, right? So they got to look at themselves and oh, I hate the way I sound. People do it all the time. Like, I hate the way I sound. I go, well, get over it.
Yeah, right.
I go,
Right.
listen to yourself more. Yeah. Yeah. When I was like 6 and I heard the first tape recorder, like, yeah, that was weird. That's not me.
Yep.
Now I talking for a living. I
Yep.
speak, I
Yep.
do podcast, I do all this stuff all the time. And some people love my voice, some people hate it. I'm good with it. It's grown on me. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it. It doesn't matter. My accent. I remember I had a PR lady wanted to rep me for all my sculptures, all my work and stuff, and then she's talking to me. I'm like, okay. And it's like, well, but we got to really clean up your accent. Too many D's and does and this kind of stuff. I'm like, I'm a Chicago guy. I go, this is how we talk. I go, well, I'm not hiring you. I'm not changing the way I speak. Okay. I'm not going to do that just so you can appeal to these people because there's no authenticity in that whatsoever. So my whole thing was we need to do authenticity. I didn't even have the word for it then, but it's really that thing that you want to strive for anytime you're representing yourself, right? That's kind of a big deal until we, really understand who we are. We can't convey this on a camera. Either you got to have someone like you who's really helping us get that calm, get that legitimacy that's coming across, or we have to practice, right? We have to run through this stuff again and again.
I think it was my Wi-Fi, man. I think it decided to crap out.
It's okay. I just kept talking, so we still got it. We're
Yeah,
all
and you can
good.
edit it. You can
Yeah, we
edit it.
could or we could not.
Yeah,
You
whatever.
know, I'll get it to my team. Which is the rabbit in the backyard. No, I don't know, but we'll just keep rolling though. But really, the whole point of that is the authenticity. You know, I mean, you need to be able to speak clearly. Okay, but like an accent and who you are, where you're from, because people ask me, "You New York?" Yeah, I'm Chicago. Oh, that makes sense, right? So it's like you have to own that. Like
Yep.
that's a differentiator. Why do I have
Yep.
to be like I'm some talking head on ABC? I
Yep.
go that I don't want to be that person. I have no intention to be that person. I'm never wearing a tie. Okay, so it's like this is what it is. Okay, so let's do that. So that's why I love it, Graham, because we're kind of aligned this way. You have to get past that. You have to get past perfection and a certain
Yes.
look and this and this. You have to look at someone. This is my own opinion, and like see the uniqueness of that person, and go, that's gonna sell. People will do that,
Yep.
right? I used to do it with testimonials, right? So you either get video testimonial or you have them written. I always want their picture because when I
Hmm.
tell people, I go, listen, when someone's looking at your testimonials, you know who they're looking for? Themselves. They
Yep.
want to see if they're a 87-year-old white-haired lady, weighs 120 pounds. They want to see that person hear what they have to say. You know,
Yep.
if they're a whatever 400 pounds and this, they want to see that person. If they're a young guy, they want to see a young guy. If they can. So I always tell them when you're building those, like you got to get those pictures and you got to spread them out in the stuff so people can scroll and find themselves. It's
Yeah.
weird how
Yeah.
that works, right?
That's a great point.
I've fallen and I can't get up. The greatest commercial ever made, right? So
Now,
that
where's the beef is the best commercial ever
yeah,
made.
true, that's true. But which came first? Where's the
Oh, where's
beef?
the
Or
beef was way before that, I think. I
it
think
was
where's
right.
beef was
That was
early 80s.
it was had to be. Ooh, it was
Okay,
a
I'm gonna
long.
look it up. I have to know now.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. You might be right. Wendy's was kind of out there with that stuff. So, and we remember. See, at least I do. But I remember Wendy's when they put away your trash. You couldn't even find a garbage can in the place. Did you know
Oh,
that?
wow.
I'm a
No, I
little
did
bit
not
older
know
than you,
that.
but yeah, you just left it
Well,
on the
no, we didn't
table.
really have we didn't we might have had one Wendy's in Green Bay or not even at all. So
Yeah.
I grew up with McDonald's pretty much exclusively. So no, I never knew that.
Yeah, the old fashioned hamburgers. I mean, literally, it was in a center closet. The garbage can was, but people come out and clear your table. You just left it there. I'm like, let's get back to that. Okay,
Oh
now do
yeah.
I have to clear all my table? They want a tip. You know,
Yeah.
like give me my food in a bag, and they want a tip for the hard work they did in the microwave. So
Where's the beef was 1984, Fallen Can't Get Up was 1987.
so close. See, that's a
Well, we know.
that's a toss up. That's a toss
Yeah.
up though. That's we're close in that same thing. But two greats. Okay, like
Yep.
anyways, it's just this whole conversation has been awesome. I think people understanding the reality of messaging, right? There's because you're kind of an expert at it, kind of a lot. You make money with videos, okay? I shot a lot of videos. I don't make any money with my videos, okay?
That's
You know what I do? You know how you console yourself, Graham? No, it's just content. I'm building authority.
right. That's
Okay,
right.
that's the go-to
Brand
when you don't make a dime from your from
brand
your
awareness, personal brand. Yep.
that's all those neat terms that
I
never
will
have a
tell you
dollar
something
sign.
you brought up that actually I think is very important is where you said it doesn't have to be perfect and authenticity. Like one of my pillars that I teach on all the time is authenticity and just being yourself. And that's what differentiates you from everybody else is even we're if there's 20 plumbers lined up right here, what makes them different is who they are. It's their authenticity. And it's not about the service. It's not about plumbers help with pipes in your house. They all do basically the same thing.
Yep.
The authenticity is what separates you. So don't feel like you have got to make the perfect video or you've got to be polished. It's got to be just be you, man. Escape competition through authenticity. Like nobody can compete with you being you. So I think that was a really key point you said. Not polished, not perfect. People are looking to meet you and get to know you. So just be you. Screw up. Say naughty
Yeah.
words. Say whatever.
There's a little trend I've been noticing too on just video ads. Like, you're
Yep.
watching I'm watching a sermon and I get the dumb ad that pops up. And so here's the thing that's in, and I know this is intentional. They're just using the microphone from the phone. No, it's the worst sound. It's echoey because they're making it like it's real. I
Right.
go, what's real? Quality sound. That's
Yep.
what's real. I go, no one can tolerate poor sound. They'll tolerate bad video, but I'm like, and I really like it's fake authenticity.
Yeah.
It's
It's
so
funny
I'm
too
like,
because I own a video company. Hello, but I say the same thing. I'm like, you can have the worst video, and if you have good audio, people are going to watch it. If you've got
matters.
terrible audio and the best video, your brain can't handle it. It's so much hard work. So I'm like, yeah, audio is more important than the video quality. I preach that all the time, man.
And here's the other thing. I can tell, I can smell it from the first 3 to 4 words out of their mouth, written by chat. Written by
Yep.
chat. Oh, it's always like, but honestly, or this, or I
Or
trade
here's
this
the thing. What people
when they
what
do
most people
this.
don't realize
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Or
yeah,
that's not this, that's this.
yeah.
Yeah. It just drives me bananas.
It's because it's again, I'm odd. I can't say it must. I don't. Does it work? I don't know. It never would work with me. They'll never.
I don't
I
know.
can't even. I am like hovering over the skip button as soon as it gets to it. Okay, I just want
Hmm.
to skip. I don't hear them. I just watch the yellow line and skip. Get back to what I was watching.
Well, I say
Um,
the same thing about using teleprompters. It's like if you can't sound authentic, it just ruins your credibility and your trust.
right.
Because if I'm sitting here reading a script talking about how much I'm going to help you and try to make it feel like I care about you, but it's obvious I'm reading some prepared script. It's so inauthentic. And then I really don't it's like if a politician or a celebrity is reading an apology because they got caught doing something really bad, then they're like, I apologize to all those I have affected. There's no emotion,
Yeah.
there's no connection,
Yeah.
credibility out the window.
That's right. Yeah.
It's not real. And
Well,
like I said that, I don't know.
credible and politician are not. They're not. They don't go together. That's an oxymoron.
Yeah, I said, I don't know if I said this in a LinkedIn post or something, but I was like, just like you said, you can smell it. You can smell that inauthenticity, just like, oh,
Yeah,
stop trying to.
I can't deal with it. I mean, it's like
No,
it's
same.
nails on a chalkboard to me. It's like
Because it's not human.
I'm now anti your product.
Yes.
You just created an
Yes.
enemy.
You just repelled
I'm
me.
just,
Great
I
job.
don't, and I'm trying to figure out, are you just cheap? You don't want to spend like $37 on a wireless mic or something like what's the issue here? But they're
I don't
literally trying to manipulate you like this is real. And it's the farthest thing from real,
know. Yeah, that's
and it's wild that I can't. So we'll kind of maybe we'll wrap up with this too. So we talked about authenticity. Okay. So just this last little conversation here, like everybody judges. Okay. I think it was Jim Rohn who said people shouldn't judge, but they do. So it's like, so you gotta understand people are gonna judge, right? But like I think when you're in the authenticity realm and you've got these people being more natural, maybe just sit in a more relaxed position or whatever it is, and you make it work, okay, that is you are gaining far more traction with that, even if it's not the greatest thing ever. Then I think again, I'm a little odd, so I'm asking, the bad sound, I'm just talking, I'm just in my hallway, and someone happened to have a camera on a distant when they told me to start talking about this, like I just randomly given a testimonial in my hallway. And it's like, you're just a liar. Okay.
right.
You're just a liar. That's for you. I'm not giving you a penny, So I don't know if that's me. I'm a little skeptical, cynical, and add a few other words on there. That's probably me. But or is that, I mean, I'm probably preaching to the choir here because you're a guy who built an authenticity and everything else. But is there like a market for that? There has to be, right? It's like telemarketers.
Yeah.
Who talks to them? Someone has to. They keep calling. Okay.
Yeah, it's like that or door-to-door salesman. Like who actually it must work because they still keep doing it. So
That's right.
yeah, I'm sure there is. And I mean there is a psychological effect to just seeming like you just caught somebody in the hallway or they weren't prepared for this or they're just speaking off the cuff, which is why I have my clients look off the camera and not into the camera because not only does it make them more comfortable, but because you as a viewer, if you see somebody looking this way and just being like, I started this business because blah, blah, blah. The impression you have is that you're peeking in on a
That's
private
it.
conversation. They
That's
have
it.
to be telling the truth because they don't know we're
Yeah.
here watching them. So yeah, it works. It's just the obvious ones just they just drive me bananas, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how does this work? But it must. I mean, it must work.
I just,
I wouldn't do
yeah.
it.
I think people, I don't know. I don't want to. I don't care if I
Don't
offend
want to
people.
disparage
They're
it.
just
Yeah,
not. They're not media sophisticated. They
they're
just
not
don't get it.
discerning.
Yes,
Yeah.
discerning. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, it's crazy. But and you one thing you said, camera angles. They're the greatest. Like, hey,
Yes.
if you can have multiple, right, and you're flopping back and forth, and they are looking at this way, and like you said exactly right. It's like they're having a conversation with someone.
Yep.
That's what I want. I want people to feel like that's what we're doing right now.
Yep.
Everybody
Yep.
listening is just in a chair in the room and just listen to what we're talking about because we both know. And if it's not evident yet, we had no planning for this. Okay,
Right.
we're just, this is this is authenticity at the max, baby. This is what
Yeah.
we do, and with hiccups and technical hiccups and everything else, we don't stop. We roll
No,
right through
man.
this. We can't be stopped. Okay. So we take it to a whole new level just to prove the point. Authenticity wins every time. So I love it. So Graham, let's how do people get in touch with you, talk to you? I don't know what you're doing as far as services, whatever you got, share with them. We'll put links in the show notes, everything else, so people can
Yeah,
reach
sure.
out or
The
whatever.
yeah, I mean the two best ways are LinkedIn or my website is focusfilms.com. I would say as far as services is we've got on location in person, whereas if you're local or you want to have the crew come to wherever you are around the country, you fly us out and we do the brand story, the testimonies, whatever. We've got a hybrid version, which would be I've got a huge network of companies around the country where we would hire the local crew in your town. But then I would still do the interview and the storytelling. Like you're still getting the
Nice.
secret sauce from us. They put us on an iPad and a Zoom, and we're still doing the interview, but you got the local crew there with the cameras and the lights. Or we offer fully virtual through Riverside. We'll do brand story videos and testimonials and things like that, completely virtual. So anything that we can do to try to help people with video on location, hybrid, or virtual, we'll do it.
Yeah, that's the magic of technology now. You can do
It
that.
is.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
I
do
just did a
live.
brand story for a lawyer in Ohio, and I never left Atlanta.
Yeah, we do live stream training for companies, role play the whole thing. So we
Oh,
got 15 people on. It's amazing. Like, and
yeah,
I love
that's
doing
cool.
role play. That's a big part of what we train, and they're back and forth to each other. They can be in a conference room with the big screen, or they can all be individual. It doesn't matter. We're on Zoom, and
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
lot of fun. Again, these are things that they're not comfortable until there's 14 other people in the room with them, all on the Zoom. People kind of done Zoom now, and all since COVID and everything. And it's like it's easy, and I'm boom, just
Yep.
call them. I'm recording everything. It's awesome. I'm not making videos from it, but man, I'm skilling them up. You know what I mean? Then we can show them the
Yeah.
difference. 8 weeks later, I bring it back. Go, look at the first time you did this.
Oh, that's cool.
Now look at
That's
you.
very
And
cool.
they're like crushing it. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, we do 14 word commands. If it's 15 words, you fail. It's 14 words or less in the command, right? So we
Wow.
really train it. It's a lot of fun. I mean, you talk about
Wow.
bloopers. You can see some cool stuff. So it's a lot of fun. But the technology has enabled us to do that, and it's
Yeah.
cost effective. You can't go somewhere for 12 weeks and or jam it all into 4 days or 5 days or something. We'll do it over 90 once a week, couple hours. It's really cool. So yeah, technology has just made things awesome as a tool, right? So
Yep.
if we know how to
Yep.
apply it properly, man, it's really something. So really cool. So I love it. I got one last question. How long ago did you get focusfilms.com? That
2019.
doesn't that doesn't think it doesn't seem like that'd be available since like 2000 maybe or
I
something.
paid it. I paid for it. I bought
Okay,
it from some video production company in Israel owned it.
there's probably some 12-year-old
But they
who
were
owned
it
it. Probably some
it was
kid
for
who's just typing them in, spending $10 and he can get 2 grand from you.
no, they actually
No.
did. I mean, there were like I still had backlinks for their video for their film productions and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know, they just weren't using it anymore and it was for sale on GoDaddy. So I was like, all right, I'll put up the money because I really
Okay.
wanted it. I didn't
Yeah.
want .biz or .net, so I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll do it. So
Dude, I'm just saying
2019, I think it was.
it's great. That's my
Yeah,
point.
thanks, man.
It's
Thank you,
really
thank
good
you.
just to like pick it up, 6 months ago or something. So I just wondered, but you still had it for 6, 7 years now, right?
Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. So that's great. That's awesome. So I know dumb question, but those things,
Eh.
this is why I don't market. You see, I
Hey,
don't
but
think about it.
someone
That's right.
listening to this will find value in that.
That's
That's the
right.
beauty of it.
Yeah, see, all he cared about was his website name. All that talking, he only cared about the name of the
Just all I cared
website.
about was my domain.
That's right. All that. So, and what is it again? Uh, focusfilms.com. I love it.
Focusfilms.com.
I did know it. I'm just playing.
I
So,
know.
Graham, thank you for the time today.
Thank you,
Great,
man.
authentic conversation. We pushed through all the stuff. I love it. Appreciate the time, man. I know you do a lot of these, and I appreciate myself. I do a lot. And just giving us this kind of time is just highly valuable, and we thank you for it. And for everybody else, we'll see you on the next STS podcast. Thanks for joining me on the Sharpen the Spear podcast. If you're a manufacturing executive and you're serious about unlocking hidden profit, improving frontline leadership, and taking control of your floor, go to grit2lead.com right now. Run the free Sharpened Impact Simulator and discover your biggest opportunities are hiding. Don't leave millions on the table. Sharpen your spear, lead from the front, and win the floor. Until next time, stay sharp.